Tara, also known as the Eyeshadow Shopper, and I'm so excited and happy that you decided to join me today for this makeup tutorial. As you can see, this is a really basic, easy, it looks like it's easy, huh? It really is. Easy to do makeup look that anyone can recreate, and I can't wait to share with you how I did it. And for those of you that are tuning in for the very first time, make sure you say hi in the comment section. I always love chatting with you guys, and you know, I just can't wait to share with you my thoughts about this Naked Reloaded palette. I'm a huge fan of Urban Decay, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I was not excited when this one came out, just because of the fact that I don't know, I was stuck on the Naked one, but this was actually a really good replacement for it. And if you've been thinking about getting it, then stay tuned. I think that I'll help you decide whether or not you want to bring it home too. All right, you guys, I got my basket of goodies here that I'm gonna share with you. Yes, I use all these products on this face, okay? And the first thing that I always use is the All About Clean liquid soap. I really enjoy using this product. I actually use all of the products that I'm about to use, show you twice a day. And I also use this All About Clean foaming cleanser. This one is very hydrating. This one mainly just cleans your skin, and this one hydrates it. So I really enjoy using that. Keeps it really moisturized. And then I follow up with the clarifying lotion from Clinque, the number 3. It's actually an exfoliator, so that's how my skin stays, you know, pretty much even tone, as you can see. And yeah, I enjoy using this product too. And it does not sting. You know how some products like this kind of stings your face or burns your face a little bit, especially if it's dry. This does not sting, so I like that. And yeah, especially for it to be a exfoliator. And anyway, I follow up with this Dramatically Different moisturizing gel. Really enjoy using this. It makes my skin very, very hydrated and dewy looking. And you know, when I wake up in the morning, I don't have a lot of craziness going on. Back in the day, I used to have, I don't know, my T-zone would act really, really crazy. But I'm telling you, using this product right here to keep it hydrated definitely helped out, especially after using this clarifying lotion too. But you'll see. You'll see. Those of you that use these products already, chime in the comment section. You know exactly what I'm talking about, girl. And then, yes, I'm showing this again. This will be week number 3 that I'm showing this little teeny moisture surge that has a corner in it. But anyway, this is a moisture surge. I definitely have to go back and get some more. I love using this product, especially in the winter months or during times when, you know, I'm being really bad and not drinking enough water. My skin is a little dehydrated, so this gives it an extra boost. But I do enjoy using that. And also at night, when it's time for me to take off my makeup, I use this Take the Day Off eye removing serum here. And then I also use the Take the Day Off cleansing balm. I really enjoy using this too, because this is a product that keeps my skin moisturized. I do have oily skin, but I also still use products that keep it still moisturized, because I find a lot of times, I used to do it myself, but because I have oily skin, I would gravitate to products that would dry out the oils and not give a lot of, you know, add a lot of moisture back to my skin, and that was an epic fail. You never want to do that. You never want to do that. You always want to go with products that are always adding hydration back to your skin. It keeps your skin looking, you know, just healthy and glowing and just, you know, like you want it to look, okay? Because some days you don't want to walk around with makeup on, you don't want to go out with makeup on, and you should be able to feel comfortable in your own skin. So anyway, these products I talk about every single time I put some makeup on my face. So if you want to check them out, they're going to be in the description box Okay, loves, the first thing that I'm gonna do is prime my face with this face primer from MAC, and then I'm going to go over that with the Studio Fix fluid from MAC. As you can see, I need to go make another trip to the MAC counter. Anyway, I enjoy putting on my foundation with a sponge, and I just use light tapping motions to apply the product. You can use a brush if you'd like to, and also that Studio Fix fluid does come with a pump, but I prefer doing it my way on the back of my hand, you know? It's my comfort level. And my brow routine is really, really simple. I just brush my brow hairs in place and outline them. I'm using just a regular drugstore pencil just to, you know, fill them in on the outer parts. And then I'm gonna go in with my MAC pencil. And I love the fact that this pencil that I'm about to use for my brows is double-sided. It has a wand, which allows you to draw in your brow hairs, and then it also has a larger pencil on the other side if you want to do more sculpting with your brows. And under my brows, I'm actually applying a little concealer. I know with this step, sometimes you see people putting a lot of product in that area. That is totally unnecessary. You just need to do a couple of dabs and you're good. And next I am applying some eyeshadow primer to my lids. It's super important that you use these products on your lids. Primer, especially, that is a barrier that covers the skin on your eye, and it also helps your shadows to stay in place. I have oily lids, so I prefer using the paint pod on top of the primer. That really helps the shadows stay in place. And you know, it's something that has worked for me for quite some time, and I've used that paint pod for a long time too, so it lasts a long time. You don't ever need to use a lot of products as you know, base products on your face ever. I know it looks cool, you know, on tutorials sometimes, but you don't need to do that. All right, I am applying a crease shade, and I'm using a fluffy brush to complete the application. That is something that you definitely don't want to skip or try to do with another type of brush. You definitely want a fluffy brush to complete the application, so you have less chances of having those, you know, lines in the middle of your eye. And then I went in with my Clinque, my IT Cosmetic angled brush, just to apply the shadows on the outer corners of my eye, and then I went in with my Clinique brush just to blend the shadows together. I'm using another IT Cosmetic brush to apply the shadow to my lid, and I'm using light tapping motions to complete this step. You really want to just use a light hand anytime you are applying your lid shade, especially if you've already put your foundation on your face. You don't want to have to go back and try to clean it up with more foundation. That means you're adding just more product to your face, and it's not necessary. I'm going back in with a fluffy brush. I believe I am using a IT Cosmetics brush, and I'm just blending the product in. I'm just making sure I'm getting rid of any harsh lines. And what I like to do before I apply my lashes is I like to put just a thin line of dark liner on the outer edges of my eyelid. It just gives it a little more depth, and you know, just tries to make the I don't know, it kind of makes the lashes look more natural. You can't really make them look natural, but you know, I'm telling myself that, okay? Anyway, under my eye, again, I'm using the dot method. I am just using a couple of little dots of concealer under my eye. You definitely don't want to go in and go hard in this
spot either, because you will end up looking like cake face. And I don't care what your friends or peers tell you, you look like cake face, and you know it. Anytime you look in the mirror and you just look, and you look under your under eye, and you just feel like something's wrong, it's wrong, honey. It's wrong. So don't go all the way in with that. All right, on top of that, I use the Studio Fix powder, the pressed powder from MAC. And that's just to seal everything up and to get rid of some of the shine, make my look a little more matte. And then I'm going in with another MAC highlighter. Again, this is a step that you don't necessarily have to do, but I enjoy it. And look at me.
We're gonna get into my favorite thing to do, which is swatching. And we're gonna swatch this beautiful palette. I'm gonna bend it over like this so you can see it. Isn't she gorgeous? I mean, can we just pause for a minute here and just take all this goodness in? I mean, it's so calm. Just so calm throughout this palette. I love it. For those of you that love like nudes, neutral looks, this is a good palette for you. All right, so let's swatch the shadows, okay? I guess I'm gonna start right here. I don't put any primer on my skin either, so you guys can see the product, you know, perform, you know, with no hype. Pretty hot. I think I'll put this palette down. It feels weird. Okay. Now, working with the shadows, they felt really soft when I was applying them to my lids. I did have to build up the shadow that I have on my lid, but that's okay. You know, I always say if you have to build a shadow, don't be afraid to do so, because that means you're not in the danger zone. Now you're in the danger zone. If you put it on hot and heavy, you like, oh, I think I did too much. It's too late. You're gonna have to redo the whole look. So I guess that's a positive that I can say about a shadow that you have to, you know, continue to build up. These are kind of, I don't know, that last shade was kind of muted a little bit. It was kind of thin, and so is this one, but again, you can build it up and, you know, make her into who she needs to be. I don't know, she's pretty though, feels good. You guys notice I don't have any fallout either. That's a big thing. All right, I think this one is gonna be, oh, I'm surprised. It actually did show up on my skin. Now that one is really pretty. It is pretty. All of these are super calm though, and that's what I like about them. Really calm. But you also need to definitely have a primer on when you are wearing them, just to give them some life, as you can see here. This is a beautiful shade, but if I had a little primer on and some of that paint pod, that shadow would have actually popped out just a little bit more. But it's so pretty, huh? But if you want it calm and just calm like this, hey, this is perfect too. I like it. Really pretty. Okay, so now we're gonna go in with the shade that I use on the outer corners of my eye, the dark shade. And you know what? See, I'm in between. I'm in between. And that is, I mean, to be honest with you, the dark shades in the palettes are the ones that really kind of attract me to a palette. This one just got away with it. It's workable, it's buildable, but in the areas that I want to build with this shadow, I have to be really careful because you don't want to apply too much, because then it would have been, you know, kind of bleeding over. So I don't know how I felt about that one. Ooh, can you see it? See what I'm saying? Let me go over it. We're just gonna move on. All right, so the next one. Woo. Okay, let me try it again. But you know what? This one is the one that I actually used in my crease. So let me just come to the defense of the shadow. You can't see it though, can you? I know you can't. I know you can't. I think this shadow would actually be okay for those of you out there that are much lighter than me. It would work. This one was a good crease shade for me. This was a very muted shade, toned down, and as you can see, it's very subtle, you know. But it was not this, I don't know, this one is not very pigmented either. So that's what I'm having trouble with, to be honest with you. All right, this one feels nice. It's a matte shade. Girl. We started off hot, didn't we? I don't know. I don't know. Friend. Are we gonna make it? Girl. I'm gonna go back in one more time and see if I can do something with her. Oh, baby. I'm so sorry. Okay, last one. This one's matte. Pretty. So to me, this palette is okay. You know, we started off strong and heavy and hard. Everything was just like, oh, I love you too. Oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, I can't live without you. And then it was just like, oh my God, are you still here? Are you still here? Are you not answering my calls anymore? Oh, but we're back in love, I think. A little bit. Girl, I don't know. Now see, it looks pretty though. It looks pretty like all together, huh? Let me put the palette here so you can see. Looks pretty. But it's definitely one of those palettes that you have to build up and play around with. So, if you're not up to all that, then I would say pass on this one. But if you're looking for something that's a lot of toned downness, then this would be the perfect one. Like I said before, I collect palettes. So I sit up here in front and tell you that I wasn't gonna get the palette. Yes, I was because I try to get every single. In the past, I have tried to get every single Urban Decay Naked palette that came out. I've missed a couple of them, but I plan on revamping and picking up where I left off at. But for the most part, I have the majority of them. Okay. And to be honest with you, I had to grab this one just because it was the #1's replacement. And I wanted to see how good she was. And to be honest with you, I don't know if I'm not going to pull the other one out. Maybe I will. Yeah, I'll be right back. I'm going to pull out the other one and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm about. I it'll make more sense when I say what I'm about to say, okay? I'll be back. Okay, guys, I found it. I got it. Okay, this is the original OG. This is the one that started everything off for me. This is where the eyeshadow shopper actually came from. This is my very first palette that I ever purchased, bought, that was not a drugstore palette. And I just wanted to show you guys something about the color story when it comes down to the palette that is no longer being you know, developed by Urban Decay. This is the original OG, and to be honest with you, it has a similar color story. I don't necessarily think that this should have been the actual palette's replacement, to be honest with you, because the color story is similar, but this one to me in the pan looks a little more vibrant. Now, when I swatched the original OG, that one, the swatches are very similar to the performance of this one as well too. However, I really enjoyed like the shimmer shades and, you know, just a couple of the other shades in the palette. And I just was curious about the whole naked thing, you know. It might have helped me get naked a few times. Wearing it. TMI. Anyway, this is the OG. That's what this palette is replacing. And to be honest with you, that's how the naked palettes are. Like I have, you know, I know that this palette that I'm about to show you is not the same palette, but it is, I mean, you know, nowhere near being the same palette, but it's along the same color story and along the same trend. This is the Naked Basics. It's the little mini palette. You see? Very muted out shadows. Very muted out. Really, really pretty, rich shades. This one does swatch really, really well. And then girl, you know I got some palettes. I'm just pulling these out just to show you, just to give you some familiarity, or whatever you call it. With the palette that we just worked with tonight. This is the Naked Basics. See, it has, to me, this one is actually a lot more like this one, if we're being honest. And that's just my opinion here. It's not really the Naked, the original Naked replacement, you know? But this palette right here is very, very pigmented. I love using this one. I love it. I'll make a look with it one day. But yeah. So my thoughts as to whether or not you actually need the palette. I would say yes. And the reason why is because for my friends out there that don't really wear makeup all the time, this would be perfect for you because this is definitely a build palette, okay? And even if you go in hot and heavy on a few of the shadows, you still won't do too much damage. And did you notice something? There is no fallout. No fallout. You don't see any type of craziness happening on my skin here. I'll be honest with you. A few times with this Naked one, I did have a little fallout with the shimmer shades, but yeah, this one does not have any fallout, and I think it's probably because of the formula. But yeah, I think it is worth the price. It's been so long ago. Let me see how much this thing is. Let me see. Naked Reloaded. So let me know in the comments section whether or not you have this palette, whether or not you like this palette, whether or not you have any of the Naked palettes. I'm just curious. So let me put this in here. Naked Reloaded. Oh, see? Well, they have, it's around the same price point. $50. They have it at other locations for just a tiny bit less. But it's around $50, which is, you know, about the same price tag as the other ones. This one has been out on the market for a little while now, so I don't know. I mean, one thing I forgot to talk about. Now, I do enjoy the way this thing feels. It feels luxurious. It feels like I am going in my mom's jewelry box or my grandma's jewelry box, and you know how you had that, they had the little sophisticated like cushionings over those little jewelry boxes, and you go inside and you get into some goodness. That's how this feels. And to be honest with you, this makes me happy looking at the I don't know, the color story. But like I said, if you're not a neutral person, if you don't like that kind of stuff, this might not be the one for you. But for my friends out there that enjoy wearing neutral looks and you want something in your collection that you definitely know for sure that you can wear this to the office. I don't care how crazy and wild you try to make it look, you're still not going to get it from a palette. This is the one. This is the one. This is the safe palette. This is the safe one. Okay. So yeah, for that reason alone, I will say you definitely need this palette. But let me know in the comment section what you think. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate each and every one of you, and I'm super excited to be back doing my thing on this channel. I love you guys so much, and I can't wait to talk to you again soon. Bye.
Time's been moving slowly, so we already in too deep. Can't get no sleep on each other, heavy teasing all day, and when the sun sets you act